2 or 3 replies from different people, and I think I was at the same barbecue that the sandwiches were giving out at. There wasn't coroners, that's a fact, and there wasn't solicitors. That is a definite fact because they are auxiliary typists. However, I don't believe that the coroner has got the documentation, and I've been refused access as a person of interest because, so they say, it's nothing to do with, my case is nothing to do with the case that's been tried, but it is. Because at the same hospital, they've tried to kill me at the same hospital, and I've got the evidence that when the investigation, the last investigation by the Archbishop of Norwich and Jenny Miliband, or is it Susie Miliband, whatever her name is, Miliband, of the solicitors, Thompson solicitors, she said that it's not what he's done, it's but how he done it, which is the cause. That should be the question.
So which hospital are you talking about?
Dr. Ian Patterson.
No, but which hospital was that?
Spire Healthcare.
Oh, okay.
Something, Little Aston.
Right, yeah. Okay.
I was in that hospital.
Yeah.
And I had a hip put in me that was out of date by 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And he came out before after I had my hip done, he said that he's going to be full cooperative with government recommendations, etc., etc. I've copied what he said in the news. Yeah. He said it in public. He sold a pack of lies. And the evidence that is there, it's gone international. They broke into the database using the American public, the United States of America, to cover up a fraud that was committed in Birmingham, the greater part, Spire Healthcare, and they registered it in County Cork.
Oh right, okay.
In the European Union, and the statute that they used was out of date, and they used 2 statutes out of date.
Okay.
They never registered it in County Cork, but we're not in the union, so we can't register. What they've done, they've removed, unlawfully removed, out of the jurisdiction of the UK and put it into the union, and it's the union. And they've also then breached the database of the Union, of the United States of America, the Food and Drug Administration Global Unique Identification Database, and forged 3 implants, and they've been given all the same numbers.
Right, yes.
And they invented a 4th one and give that all the same numbers.
Yeah.
And all the same numbers start from A to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 13 and past. And they've all got the same numbers to hide the identification of the hip, which was called, the true name is the RTMZF. The TMZF is abbreviation of the titanium aluminium that's used in the hip implant that's been shredding and giving people metallosis, which I've got. And they're refusing to give me an MRI scan since 2019. And I've been booked in twice at Queen Elizabeth. I'm going on demonstrations. I'm on the next lot round at 10. And I was asked by the union to save the NHS, which I did, and I was doing. And Thompson solicitors turned around and said that the case went to court at Dupree. That's a French firm that went bankrupt. Johnson, the baby powder, that Johnson's took them over. And the case was dealt with by a judge who turned around for Dupree. The pinnacle hip implant, 315 people went to court to try and prosecute Dupree or Johnson & Johnson. They kept the business name Dupree on the pinnacle hip implant. And the judge turned around and said, they haven't proved that the hip implant in particular, in person, is causing any problems, which metal and metal it was. And the top doctors, top scientists in the world have since written and said that the case was not sound. The parts were dirty as well, and that wasn't discussed. But universally, as an example goes, I have one example where Thompson turned around and said the judge found it in Dupree's favour that the hip couldn't be held responsible for any deaths or any damage. And Thompson turned around and created a precedent case out of that by saying that my case, which is university, they paid out in America, they paid out £2,800 billion.
Okay.
They
Yeah.
come over here, and it was withdrawn in 2009, and it's several cases. 45,000 of them was put into hibernation by Stryker, sent to all the hospitals. Hibernation, they used the word, put them in hibernation.
Excuse me.
It's scrap, indeed. It's scrap. What hospitals can't store. Hibernate.
No.
Retracted. Anyway, the judge, the coroner, I don't think it was her that said it, but somebody turned around and said, my case isn't similar. It is. I can prove that Julian Ash, Nelly Ashok, the surgeon that done the implant, were knowingly, and I've asked him time and time again for full disclosure. I've asked Ashok for full disclosure. I've asked Ash for full disclosure. I've asked their solicitors, Kennedy's for full disclosure, and they invented the same as what Thompson did. They manufactured evidence. It's really established. So I can prove that as Miliband, I think her name is Julie Milband, the one that represented 600 odd victims and got them a big reward, 27 million, she turned around and said, the recourse have been swept under the carpet. It's a very big carpet by now. And this is the first, when it comes. She, and I've referred to Thompson's Corrupt Solicitors Act, the Birmingham branch of Thompson's. And I've got documentation on the evidence that I've laid, and I've got it in here as well. That it's freestanding evidence. I'm not making it up. I'm only parroting what I'm telling you is what I've read. So that is, what I'm saying is freestanding evidence. I'm not making it up. I'm not guessing. I'm not, should we say, exaggerating it by any short measure, you know what I mean, or any long measure. And although I can answer off the, all that I'm asking for is to be given access as a person of interest, where I give evidence on the oath, which I said, I make anything I say, I'll go on the oath, so I'm liable for any allegations I make.
Yeah.
Nobody's making my allegations, I'm making them on the oath. I'll take oath, I'll swear on the Bible, and I will give evidence, and most of it is documented, and I'll say there. This is what he said, and he hasn't done it. But this is what they did, and I've uncovered this. So
this is for
it is for the senior coroner,
right.
yeah. Mrs. Hall.
Yeah.
And as I've said, I've not used any profanities in there. I've been a bit gimmicky by saying the plate of sandwiches, but I didn't say whether they was fresh or otherwise, you know what I mean? The plate of sandwiches is a barbecue, which is bad enough, isn't it? Come
yeah,
on.
well thank you for that, and I shall pass this on for you.
Would you? Now, I would like to turn around and say that I haven't done it today because I'm not, I think I have responded to the letter that the bundle of documents that I gave. I had an email last night, but it was too late because the printing was already ordered yesterday as well. And I had it delivered this today and paid for today.
Okay.
So the first time I said I'll give you 19 days, and it's exceeded the 19 days and I got no answer. And I didn't turn around and start throwing me dummy out the baby out in front. I kept the dummy in my mouth and stopped screaming and let the time go by, and as I said. Now this time, because they've totally ignored me, they've used semantics to answer me. Yeah. And they said the coroner, the deputy coroner, or Higgs,